Hello and thank you for joining me today. I'm Jan Clothier of Thinking Stamping and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in New Zealand. Today I'm going to share with you how to make this cute little treat box. It's very easy, very quick, and it gives you a lot of wow for very little effort. It uses the Delicate Details treat boxes, and I've chosen to use the Plentiful Plants bundle from the 2022 annual catalogue because it's a favourite of mine and it hasn't seen enough love lately. So we'll get started and I'll show you what you need. Of course, if you live in New Zealand and you see anything that you like in today's video, you're more than welcome to shop with me at my online store, the details of which are in the video description below, and there are links to it in my blog and Facebook page, the details of which are going to be on the end card and are also in the video description below. So let's get started with what we need to make this cutie little box. So you may have not noticed them in the catalogue, but in the packaging section there are these things, the Delicate Details treat boxes. They're food safe, so you can put food directly into them, although I always put them into a little bag first unless they were pre-wrapped. Delicate Details treat boxes, there are 8 in a packet and they retail for $24.25. However, once you see how incredibly easy they are to use, I'm sure that you'll want to have some in your stash, and as you can see they come already taped up, so saving you a lot of time and mucking around. So you need a packet of those. I've used the Plentiful Plants bundle and as the basis of my design, and so you're going to need a little bit of white so that you can cut the circle and also to do the stamping. Now I've stamped myself a planter, and I used, in this case I used pale papaya, and I used evening evergreen for that and soft succulent for that, and I cut them out using the matching dies from Perfect Plants. Since today is also a bit of a showcase of the retiring 2021 to 2023 in colours, the one I'm going to make with you doesn't use pale papaya, it uses one of the other in colours, polished pink. So I have already cut myself what I need with that. I've done myself a polished pink pot, an evening evergreen, one of those, and a soft succulent, one of those. Now, in addition to the white circle, for which I used the layering circles, you also need a piece of whatever your accent colour is, in this case polished pink, to cut the scallop. Now, if you have this set, I used the second largest scallopy edge, and I used the circle which fitted just inside of it. So whichever one fits just inside, because they're going to layer together like that. Now, obviously there are lovely sentiments on that, but another little favourite from the annual catalogue is this one, and one of the reasons I love it, apart from the imagery, is all of these beautiful little sentiments. So I have stamped myself a little thank you onto polished pink, and I've used the matching die from the matching dies, this little lovely stamp edged die for that. Now, if you didn't have that, of course you could just cut it straight or use whatever kind of die you had. And of course, on that subject, if you wanted to, you could make your little thank you bag into anything else. It could be good luck, happy birthday, best wishes, I'm thinking of you. So a set like that gives you lots and lots of options. Okay, so we'll pop that over. Now, most of this is just straight up assembly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with assembling this. Nice and straightforward. Simply attach the circle to the scallopy circle. Now I'm going to put my soft succulent one there. How high do I need it to be? Well, I'm just going to give myself a little pencil mark just so I know where I want it to go to. A little bit of glue, don't need to get carried away with it. And we shall pop that on there. Now I am going to tuck the pot onto a couple of dimensionals. People who have watched me before will probably be stunned at the restraint that I'm showing here. I'm only putting 2 dimensionals on. Packaging is in a different class to a card or a scrapbooking page, I think, so it doesn't need quite as many. And I'm also going to pop a couple of dimensionals onto this foliage, hopefully in a place where it's not going to show. And we'll just slot him in there like that. Now, because the pot is already popped up onto dimensionals, I don't want it to be too enormous. I'm going to glue this on. I'm putting glue in the center only because the edges will overhang the pot a little bit. So I'm just going to pop that there. Okay, now I'm just going to pop it aside while I deal with the bag. Now, this is so incredibly easy, you will be amazed. As I said, it comes already stickied up, and that is magnificent because it saves you so much time, and it's really, really sticky. Like when you're putting it together, there are no second chances if you get it in the wrong place. So to start with, I'm just going to give it a gentle score so it folds up nicely. And I'm just going to do those and those and that one and that one. Now you could, if you wanted to, attach this now. I'm not going to. I prefer to do it the other way around, but I can see that some people would prefer to do it that way, and if that's you, then that's what you should do. So I'm going to start by just using my Take My Pick tool to whip off those protectors. Now you do have to line it up and be a bit careful because, as I said, there are no second chances with this incredibly sticky tape, but it really is pretty hard to go wrong. Okay, and then we'll just do the same at the back. I always take it off in 2 halves so I don't have to worry about these ones sticking to something I don't want them to stick to while I'm dealing with the 2 I am thinking about. And also, just tuck it inside, line it up, give it a little press. Could not be easier, and they just flap in. You can use your Take Your Pick tool to just poke out those so that you've got room to pop your ribbon. Okay. Now, when it comes to attaching, I don't really want the glue to go too far inside the lacy bits. So what I'm going to do is I've sort of had a bit of a sighter as to where it's going to go, and then I'm just going to come in with the glue, and I'm just going to put some glue on the more solid pieces of the design. And because the glue's pretty good, that should be plenty. And now I'm just going to pop that on. Now I'm trying to get it centered, so I'm trying to get an even gap each side, and then I can just press it. And because I've used glue, if I look at it like I do now and I go, whoops, my thank you's not totally straight, I have got just a weeny bit of wiggle room to get that straight. Now, if you want to, it's not compulsory, but if you want to, you can add some embellishments. I'm going, since I'm having my little homage to the retiring in colours, I'm going to use some of the opal rounds from that colourway. So, although polished pink is a very intense colour, the embellishments are not as strong. They are, however, very pretty. So we'll have maybe one, where will we put them? There. And perhaps another little one. Where will we put them? Actually, I'll go for a big one. Have a big one over here. Okay. Now, the final thing is how we're going to hold it together. Well, I'm going to use, again, in my homage to the retiring in colours, I'm going to use some of this really beautiful open weave ribbon that comes in all of the in colours. I'm going to go for the full 40 centimetres because I like a generous bow. You could get away with less. And then it's simply a matter of threading it through and okay, kind of get your tails even and tie your bow. And how easy was that? I think they're really, oh whoops, that's the wrong one. This is the one. This is the one that we made that matches. But of course, I know, as you now know, I do have some others to show you. So this is one that I made for a challenge where you had to use a pumpkin, and I'm not particularly a pumpkin person, so I had to make mine out of ovals and add some things in to make it look like a pumpkin. But that's not. It uses the same floral gallery greeting. This one's much plainer, but I used just the happy birthday from, I think it's Peaceful Moments, a stitched circle, and these are from the Ranunculus Romance dies, and I've just watercoloured them and added in some iridescent rhinestones. And this is one that we used, I did in my Christmas classes, and so we used just different coloured Christmas DSP, a Merry Christmas on a label, a couple of the little mini trees, and a Christmassy ribbon. So you can see that these bags are, these treat boxes are really, really useful, really, really versatile. Now, as always, if you have any questions, I'm happy to be contacted, and you can contact me through my blog or my Facebook page or by email, and all those details are on the end card at the end of this video and in the video description below. And of course, a reminder that if you would like to have any of these products and you live in New Zealand, you're welcome to shop with me. The link to my online store is in the video description below. If you've liked what you've seen, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss anything new that I do, and happy stamping, everyone.